Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is the weekly market analysis. If this is your first time visiting this channel, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and smash the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video. So it's a new week, all right? We are in the first month of the second quarter so far as the year 2024 is concerned, all right? So if you still haven't been able to find your feet yet so far as this quarter is concerned, it's normal, right? We are still in the first month of the second quarter, so just get yourself prepared for what is coming here. So last week was good for us, yes. Just that, I mean, we all caught by surprise with certain movements that happened on the market, but hey, we even got out before that movement happened. That is with respect to the CPI, all right? So that is what really happened last week. But I mean, last week was good for us, all right? So we are hoping to see what comes up so far as going into a new week is concerned. And so today, I mean, we are going to do a lot today. We'll talk about a lot of things today, right? We even look at the futures market, what is happening there, all right? Because I mean, there are certain changes I'm seeing on the market, so we have to look at what is happening in the futures market. So just make sure you watch through to the end for you to be able to get a full gist of whatever I'm about to talk about. But before we delve into the chart, let's look at the economic news calendar and see what is up for us so far as going into a new week, and then the economic news that is coming up with that. So on Monday, the April 15, 2024, we have retail sales year over year for the month of March for USD. We have retail sales excluding gas and auto month over month for the month of March for USD. We have retail sales month over month for the month of March for USD. We have the Empire State Manufacturing Index for the month of April for USD. We have retail sales excluding autos month over month for the month of March for USD. So as you can see, Monday is all about USD high impact news. So we'll see how the market is going to react as far as the USD is concerned. So that is just that for Monday. On Tuesday, April 16, 2024, we have unemployment rate for the month of February for GBP. We have employment change for the month of February for GBP. We have economic sentiment index for the month of April for Germany. We have inflation rate year over year for the month of March for Canada. We have CPI median year over year for the month of March for Canada. We have CPI trimmed mean year over year for the month of March for Canada. We have building permits for the month of March for USD. Then we have balance of trade for the month of March for JPY. On Wednesday, April 17, 2024, we have inflation rate year over year for the month of March for GBP. We have CPI for the month of March for Eurozone. On Thursday, April 18, 2024, we have unemployment rate for the month of March for Australia. We have employment change for the month of March for Australia, ECB speech for Eurozone. Then we have the continuing jobless claims as at April 6th for USD. Initial jobless claims as at April 13th for USD. Jobless claims 4-week average as at April 13th for USD. Existing home sales month over month for the month of March for USD. We have existing home sales for the month of March for USD. Then we have inflation rates year over year for the month of March for JPY. On Friday, April 19, 2024, we have retail sales for the month of April for GBP, retail sales year over year for the month of March for GBP. We have retail sales excluding fuel for the month of March for GBP, retail sales excluding fuel year over year for the month of March for USD. So these are the high impact news we are expecting to see on the market going into next week. Let's look at what is happening on the chart. We start with the dollar index. So for the dollar index, I was actually expecting to see price continue to push to the downside, but the CPI came in as positive, and so we saw an impulse move to the upside, of which days after the CPI we saw price continuing to push to the upside. So at this point we are seeing a trend change so far as the dollar index is concerned, all right? So as it stands now, I'm expecting the next draw on liquidity for the dollar index is the volume imbalance we are seeing here, all right? I'm expecting to see price finally hit into the volume imbalance, then we see price push to the downside, all right? But as it stands now, after every impulse move, there is a correction. Take note, after every impulse move there is a correction, and when price takes out a swing high, all right, when price is in a bullish movement and it takes out a swing high, the next thing to expect is a higher swing low formation. So as it stands now, I'm expecting to see price give us that higher swing low formation before we see a continuation to the upside into this volume imbalance. So going into next week, we might see a little bit of retracement before we see a continuation to the upside. All right, yeah. So that is just that so far as the dollar index is concerned. Let's know what is happening on GBPUSD. All right, yeah. So for GBPUSD, we are seeing price. We've seen price push to the downside. All right, we've seen price take out all these liquidities we are seeing here. So as it stands now, we are likely to see price continue to push to the downside. All right, so that is if going into next week we see price pushing up and closing below the previous 40-day low. If price closes below it, then definitely you see price continue to push to the downside. But if it closes above it, then that means this movement we saw here was just a liquidity sweep. All right, this movement we saw here was just a liquidity sweep. So take note of that. We've taken out the previous 40-day low. All right, but I mean, we can't just say that because we've taken out this low, price will continue to push to the downside. We can only conclude on that if we see a closure below the previous 40-day. That is only when we see price continue to push to the downside. So that is what I will expect to see on the market going into next weekend. So Monday's price action is going to be very, very important for me. I will observe to see how Monday's price action will pan out. All right, yeah. So that is just that for GBPUSD. Let's go what is happening on AUDUSD. Yeah, so for AUDUSD too, same thing. All right, we've seen price taking out these lows. Yeah. So as it stands now, going into next week, we've taken out a previous 20-day low. All right, and then the previous 40-day low is what has been left untapped. So as it stands now, we've taken out the previous 40-day low. So going into next week, if you see price closing below this low, then definitely we'll see price pushing to the downside to take out the previous 40-day low. All right, yes. Other than that, then that means this movement we saw here was just a liquidity sweep. All right, but I'll expect to see, or I'll be expecting to see how the market is going to react so far as Monday is concerned. All right, yeah. So that is just that for AUDUSD. Let's go what is happening on the USD card. Yeah, so for USD card too, we've seen a bullish movement on the dollar index. So same thing applies to the USD card. We've taken out the previous 40-day, sorry, the previous 20-day high. All right, and the next thing to expect is the higher swing low formation. As you can see, we have a fair value gap right here. This is a fair value gap we are seeing here. All right, so that is just that. All right, so if price will continue to push to the upside, what we should expect is a higher swing low formation within this fair value gap region. All right, that means price should close above the previous 20-day high. All right, if it happens that price closes below it like this, if you see something like this, then definitely we'll see price continue to push to the downside. But if we should see price fill the fair value gap and then we see a closure above the previous 20-day high, then that means we'll continue to see price push to the upside. So going into next week, you really have to observe the daily time frame to see what is happening. All right, make sure that whatever I'm talking about, you are really seeing it happening. All right, yes, whichever way it happens, you should be able to tell where the market will move to. All right, yeah. So for USD card, that is my expectation. All right, I'll expect, since we've taken out the previous 20-day high, or we've taken out a swing high or a previous swing high, the next thing I will expect is a higher swing low formation. If the higher swing low formation doesn't happen, that means if we see price closing below the previous 20-day high, then definitely we are going to see price push to the downside. All right, but if we see price filling in this fair value gap and closing above the previous 20-day high, then definitely see price continue to push to the upside. Yeah, so that is just that for USD card. Let's see what is happening on GBPJPY. Yeah, before I talk about the yen crosses, I want us to look at the futures market and see something. All right. So yeah, we'll look at the JPY basket, and then we'll look at the GBP futures market. Yeah. So for the JPY baskets, price is still looking what? It's still looking bearish. All right. Price is still looking bearish. Whatever happened here, if price filled, even though we saw price give us this impulse move, it's not enough to clearly say that, I mean, we are seeing a trend change in the JPY basket. It's really not enough for me, because I mean, this swing high we are seeing here is still intact. All right, this swing high we are seeing here is still intact. So going into next week, I'll be very observant to see if we should see price closing below the swing high, or if you see price fail to take out the swing high, then definitely you see price continue to push, or we're going to continue to see the weakness in the JPY. All right, but if we should see price finally take out the swing high formation, then a closure above it, and definitely that is where we can say that yes, we are seeing a trend change in the JPY, which is going to affect the JPY crosses. All right, and next week too, we have high impact, a couple of high impact news for the JPY. I think we have the balance of trade and then the CPI. Sorry, the inflation rate. All right, yes, so the inflation rate for the yen. All right, yeah, so that will really be very important thing to watch. All right, yeah, so for JPY, we've had an impulse move though on a daily time frame, but we failed to take out the previous swing high, and so I can't boldly say that, I mean, we've seen there is no trend change on the JPY basket. It still looks bearish for me. All right, but let's see what happens going into next week. But let's see the GBP futures market too as well. For the GBP futures market, we've seen price taking out all these lows. All right, all these lows we are seeing here, price has taken out all these sell side liquidities we are seeing here. All right, yes. So as it stands now, we are likely to see price push. All right, we are likely to see price push to the upside, then we see a continuation to the downside. So we are seeing weakness in the British pound futures market. All right, yeah. So looking at it from this point of perspective, all right, that because of the weakness of the GBP, that is why we are seeing some weakness in GBPJPY. All right, I hope you are getting what I'm saying. I am looking at the weakness in GBPJPY from the perspective of the weakness in GBP, not the strength in JPY. All right, because I mean, the JPY still looks weak, but looking at things, the GBP, that is the British pound, is also looking weak. All right, so I'm looking at it from the point of view that the JPY is capitalizing on the weakness of GBP. That is why we are seeing some sort of weakness in the GBPJPY. All right, yeah. So let's go back to our chart and see what is happening there. All right, yeah. So let's look at GBPJPY. Yeah, and even with this, I'm still not so much convinced of a change in trend. All right, just as we saw on a JPY basket. All right, this low hasn't been attacked yet. Let me make things clear for you. All right, let me make things clear. This swing low we are seeing here. All right, this swing low we are seeing, even though we've seen as a little bit of a wood. So I'm coming. Let me just do it well for you to see. Yes, we haven't really had a clear shift or a sweep of this low. All right, so we are not so convinced, or I'm not so convinced of a change in trend for GBPJPY. All right, at the start now, price is still looking bullish on a macro view. All right, yeah. So going into Monday, I'll see how price is going to react. If price fails to take out this low, then definitely you're going to see price continue to push to the upside. But if not, if we see price clearly taking out this low, then definitely we are going to see price push to the downside. If we see a closure below this low, then we see price push to the downside to take out the previous 20-day low. All right, as it stands now, the market is looking a little bit dicey. All right, yeah, the market is looking a little bit dicey. Don't forget, it is the first month of the second quarter. All right, yeah, so it is still early days in the market. It is still early days in the market, so there is no point in rushing with your decisions. All right, there is no point in rushing with your decisions. You just have to be very patient to see how the market will unfold so far as going into this week is concerned, because I think this week should be the second week or the third week. Yeah, I'm not so sure, but I think it's the second week of the month of April. But let me quickly cross check and see. Let me check and see. Yeah, so I think it's the second week. Yeah, it's the second week. All right, yes, it's the second week. We had, okay, April 3, 4, 2, 3. Yeah, it's the third week. All right, yes, it's actually the third week. We are entering into the third week of the month of April. So kindly take note of that. All right, yes, it's still there. We are still in the first month of the second quarter, so no need to rush at all. All right, yeah, so I'll be very reluctant to see how the market is going to act. Gladly for this week, I promise you I'll be bringing you daily market updates. All right, I will try my possible best to be bringing you the daily market updates this week. All right, because of how things are unfolding or how the market is looking at the moment. All right, yeah, so make sure you don't miss out on that. All right, yes, let's look at what is happening on AUDJPY. So for AUDJPY, we've seen price is still in a bullish trend. All right, yes, just that we've seen price push to the upside, sorry, to the downside, taking out these lows. All right, and so going into next week, all right, going into next week, I'll be expecting to see how the market is going to react after an impulse move. The next thing is what is correction. And so if we see price close below this low, then definitely you see price push to the downside to take out this low. All right, but I mean, just as I told you on GBPJPY, the same thing too on AUDJPY. All right, the market is not really looking clear at the moment. All right, until we begin the new week, we see how Monday's price action will react. Then we see what happens. All right, yes. So just stay tuned. All right, yes. So I mean, we are crossing our fingers to see what happens on Monday. Definitely Monday, I'll bring you a daily market update. All right, I'll bring a daily market update. So be expecting that. So that is just that for AUDJPY. Let's look at what is happening on CHFJPY. Yeah, so for CHFJPY, unlike GBPJPY and AUDJPY, even though we see that we saw an impulse move, we haven't really seen a clear price action, or the market hasn't really given us strength. All right, strength on either the upside or the downside. All right, the market is still meandering around within this zone right here. All right, that should give you an indication that the yen crosses are still bullish. All right, because I mean, just as we've seen in AUDJPY, AUDJPY gave us a huge impulse move to the downside, taking out previous lows. GBPJPY also did same. All right, but when we look at CHFJPY, CHFJPY has been consolidating for some time now. All right, we've seen CHFJPY consolidating for some time now, failing to take out this low. All right, and it is just below the April's open price. So as it stands now, CHFJPY, I would say, is still looking bullish, clearly bullish. All right, let's switch to the 4-hour time frame and see something. Y is clearly looking bullish. All right, yeah, the CHFJPY is clearly looking bullish. All right, yeah, so that is just that. All right, That is just that for CHF-JPY. Until we see this low taken out, we can't say that price is bearish, all right, for CHF-JPY. All right, so going into next week, be looking out or to be watching out for this low, all right, here. So that is just that for the weekly market analysis. For NASDAQ, I don't want to talk about NASDAQ for now, all right, yes, because things are not so clear for me on NASDAQ. I don't want to talk about it now, so let's leave it for today. Yeah, so that is just that for the weekly market analysis. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, make sure you click on the subscribe button and smash the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I post a new video. And be expecting my daily market update. All right, be expecting it, because Monday, I promise you, I'm going to bring you a daily market update. So make sure you subscribe so that whenever I post it, you will get notified as soon as possible. I wish you all good luck and good trade. Peace.